Good Monday morning, South Carolina weather watchers. I'm your meteorologist, Peterson, and let's go in and talk about the weather for your Monday. Starting off, what is going on right now throughout the entire state of South Carolina? Right now, it's nice and dry, no rainfall statewide, but we do have some alerts going on. We still have a dense smoke advisory over here for Berkeley County. This is for, again, the Horse Island wildfire that's going on near the Francis Marion National Forest near Schuylerville, and so that will cause um, some some dense smoke over there in the Berkeley County area. So if you're in these areas, know that probably want to watch out for that. Not only that, but also we still have these beach hazard statements over here in Horry County and Georgetown County. But if we want to see what's going on throughout the entire U.S., we do have some rainfall going on over inside North Carolina, Virginia, Alabama, Mississippi, Iowa getting in on some storms, Minnesota some severe storms, Wisconsin getting in on some storms, and then we also have some rainfall in Oregon, Idaho, California. And then obviously the main thing that most people are talking about is Tropical Depression 2 about to become Tropical Storm Bertha. About to become Tropical Storm Bertha as we move later on. Seems like because this is July 21st, 2 a.m. I think probably, yeah, earlier than that. It says 2 p.m. So it's expected to be a tropical storm by 2 p.m. Now, for right now, it's tropical depression, but we'll go over that in just a second. Now, in terms of our cloud cover, we do have some cloud cover for the eastern side of the state, upstate getting on some cloud cover, the Midlands as well, low country for sure. So a lot of areas receiving at least some type of cloud cover, rather it be like isolated clouds or widespread cloud cover. Now, in terms of our cloud cover for the future, we're going to push this forward into this afternoon. Here's noon right here. We go all the way into around 2 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m., all the way over into around 7 p.m. And you can see that we still have cloud cover throughout, almost all regions of the state. You move all the way to 12 a.m., and now you see the upstate start to kind of get covered up, and then the other areas kind of start to clear out a little bit. Now, in terms of our current temperatures right now, we're talking about 81 in Somerville, 83 Charleston, 82 Beaufort, and 83 in Hilton Head Island, 81 Georgetown and Conway, as well as Myrtle Beach, 80 in Florence, as well as 80 in Columbia, 79 in Lugoff, Newbury, even Lawrence, 78 Greenville, Spartanburg, 75 in Gaffney and York. Air quality for today, it looks like that most of us is inside that moderate category. If you're in the low country areas like the Tri-County moving over into the other low country areas, you have a good area for like, and also up there near Greenville, near Anderson, over there towards Rock Hill, and those areas over in the Piedmont going on to the northern PD areas, you have a good area. But if you're not in the good area and you're in the yellow, you have a moderate risk of air quality. So not the best, not the worst either. So just make sure that you're keeping that in mind. Now, in terms of our high temperatures for today, we're talking about 94 Greenville, 93 Spartanburg, as well as 97 in Columbia, 96 in Orangeburg, and 95 in Moncks Corner, Walterboro, 92 in Charleston, 93 Georgetown, even 91 in Myrtle Beach, 92 inside of Hilton Head Island. And then in terms of heat, we're going to be up there 105, 106 or so from Columbia to Orangeburg to Moncks Corner to Charleston, Hilton Head Island, all these areas going to be around 106 or so. Winds for today going to continue to be around 5 to 10 miles per hour inland. The coastal areas will be to around 10 to 15. And then if we look at those wind gusts could potentially be all the way up from around 12 to 15 miles per hour inland to around 20 miles per hour towards the coastal areas. Rainfall wise, we're looking at maybe around a good hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch as well from Spartanburg, Rock Hill, Girard, Dillon, Florence, Orangeburg, all these areas, hundredth of an inch to a tenth of an inch. And then also, if you look towards like Girard, look towards Dillon, some areas may even see around a tenth of an inch to maybe even a half an inch of rainfall over the next 24 hours. SPC outlook for tonight, if you're in the dark green, Spartanburg, Rock Hill, up towards Girard and Dillon, those areas, Bennettsville, you have a marginal risk of severe weather for damaging wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour. If you are, again, inside that dark green area, a 5% risk of damaging winds. And then if you're in the light green, just a regular risk of thunderstorms, but you still could see some gusty winds, some small hail. So, don't take those storms for granted. even though they may not be severe. Excessive rainfall, also possible. Look up there, Greenville, Gaffney, going over towards, again, the Bennettsville area, the Girard, the Dillon areas. You have a 5% risk of flash flooding. 5% risk of flash flooding over inside of the light green areas on the map. Crazy score right now, we're at an 8 or 10, excuse me. Most of the crazy score kind of comes from the alerts that we have right now, the dense smoke advisory over there in Berkeley County, and then also the beach hazard statements add up to give us 8 points for an alert, and then conditions is 2 points right now. So let's go in now and take a look at the models. Time is at the bottom part of your screen. Make sure you want to pay attention to that, as that is very important to do so. As we go all the way into around 12 o'clock p.m., we start to see some showers and some storms starting to form in the low country, maybe even as early as 11 a.m. But as you move all the way to around 1 p.m., 2 p.m., 3 p.m., look at all this shower and storm activity that we have over inside of the low country areas, that we have inside of the Grand Strand areas by around 3, 4 p.m. or so. Then once we move to around 5 to 6 p.m., we start to see some more storms in the Midland areas. Petey continuing to get some rainfall activity as well. And then as you get to around 9 to 10 p.m., you're seeing some more shower activity, some more storm activity later on. But then once you get to around 11 to 12 o'clock in the morning, things start to again clear out, and we're looking at a pretty nice night there after all that's said and done. So another thing I also want to go in and look at is the severe weather risk, because to be honest, you don't really see much in terms of thunderstorm activity according to the HRRR in South Carolina in that marginal risk zone. So, I mean, does that mean that there's going to be no storms there? No, it just means that maybe that chance, it's isolated, obviously. So if it does happen, maybe not too much, but I mean, there is a chance that obviously that you may not even see any rainfall. I mean, just because you have a marginal risk of severe weather up there does not mean that you're guaranteed going to see a thunderstorm, that you're guaranteed going to see rainfall. So, definitely do keep that in mind. Now for the NHC, obviously, Tropical Depression 2. Right now, 35-mile-per-hour winds with a central pressure of 1,006 millibars. It's moving northwest at 3 miles per hour. The depression is expected to gradually strengthen and could bring tropical storm force conditions to portions of Florida Panhandle and the Alabama coast beginning tonight into Tuesday, where tropical storm watch is in effect. Interests in Mississippi, Louisiana, and Texas should monitor the progress of the system, as additional watches could be required for portions of that area. Areas of flash flooding will also be possible through Friday along the Gulf Coast and adjacent inland locations from western Florida to the middle Texas coast, including southern parts of Alabama, Mississippi, and Louisiana. So right now, this is what we're looking at right now in terms of the key points. Right now, it doesn't say anything about South Carolina, and I think South Carolina, well, we pretty much know South Carolina is in the clear in terms of any sort of like direct landfall from this thing, but they still just have it forecasted to be a tropical storm. They're still not saying a hurricane yet. Remember, I said that I think, if it takes that more southern track, remember the cone includes, where the eye of the storm could go. If that eye goes to that more southern part, I think that it definitely could, have that chance to become that hurricane. So we'll see, where the storm does end up going. But I think that they could add a hurricane in the forecast here if it trends further south. Rainfall potential wise, I mean, not really seeing too much inland. You're really seeing it in the ocean, but that will change obviously. But I mean, you can see around a good 1 to 4 inches of rainfall over there in Louisiana, Florida, Alabama. Getting maybe around 1 to 4 inches of rainfall or so. Even in Texas, already saying around 1 to 2 inches of rainfall already. And then storm surge as well, 1 to 3 feet of storm surge all the way from parts of Florida into the Mississippi Alabama border. So overall, there's a lot of things to look at. There's a lot of things to go on and pay attention to. Also, like the wind speeds. Obviously, you can see the more. Honestly, it looks more that to. It looks honestly more like the southern Alabama areas in parts of the eastern Louisiana areas have that highest chance of tropical storm force winds, and even for 50 knot winds, which is 58 miles per hour, could see a good amount of that over Louisiana and parts of Alabama as well. But that's all that I have to say here for today. If you've not the like button yet or the subscribe button yet, please go in and do so. We are at 774, trying to get to that main goal of 800. Also share with your friends, your family members, your acquaintances, people that you don't talk to regularly, because it's free, it's free, it's free. Also, tonight, we will not be live at 9 o'clock p.m. We will be live at 8 o'clock p.m. 8 o'clock p.m. Not 9 o'clock p.m., 8 o'clock p.m. So make sure that you are there for that. Not 9 o'clock like we normally do, but 8 o'clock p.m. I will be back tonight. Make sure that you're there for that.